right, boys. Welcome back. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. Happy to be back. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving.
Yes, great to be back. Welcome back, everybody.
You mentioned Thanksgiving was great. I love Thanksgiving, but the night before, Wednesday night of Thanksgiving, my favorite night of the year. I love the anticipation of like tomorrow's Thanksgiving. You know, Wednesday kind of like slows down. Everybody's going home early from work. Friday's typically off, and you still have the weekend. It's the best. I love the anticipation.
We actually we left for upstate. We went up to the Catskills for Thanksgiving. It was awesome. We played in the snow, but we went Wednesday night. Like we were like ready to go, so that we woke up Thursday morning. I think I lit a fire in the fireplace at like 8:30 in the morning. Ran it all day on Thursday. It was great. Oh, it was great.
From my Ubering days, the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving was the most popular night of the year. More than New Year's. I rate
sure.
It's because everybody's back from college.
To go out that night, it's like a fun night to go out because there's like 4 days afterwards.
It's a big bar night.
I have to say, you know, even though I came away with a second place finish in the last show on our movie comedy show, my brother-in-law was embarrassed by my Ghostbusters pick to the point where he asked me to not mention to anybody that we are related, but we are.
And his name is
Ari, if you're listening.
The reality is, I disowned you after that. I'm not even your brother-in-law.
Yeah, I took a lot of flack. Somebody told me that by picking Ghostbusters first, I took an automatic loss for the entire podcast.
Okay. Well, glad that guy has a vote.
I didn't think it was that bad. But...
I'm glad there's people who listen enough to make John lose that all season now.
Yeah. I've been told
because you did Ghostbusters, I'm gonna log in every single show that you have and vote against John. Well, thank you. We hope we have 1,000 more of you.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We have to put a fourth option. It's just not John. It's like
anybody but John. Oh God. Well, hopefully my fortunes will change. I'm very excited for tonight's show. I think this is going to be a lot of fun and probably really embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm still a little confused by how we're gonna do this, but listen, it's gonna be fun. Why don't you tell everybody what we're doing?
Okay, so I have to give a lot of credit to Dave on this show topic. This was Dave's brainchild, but we are going to be discussing the worst gifts, worst holiday gifts. I think it'll branch probably into other forms of gifts, but it's going to be a little different, I think, than our typical draft, but we're going to focus on worst gifts, and I think there's going to be a lot of stories that are going to go along with this. It does not necessarily have to be the worst gifts that we've received, but it'll be just kind of worst gifts, and could be gifts that we've given, could be gifts we've received, could be stories that we've heard from other people. So I'm excited about what sort of nuggets this is going to unearth.
And I want to just give a disclaimer. We appreciate all gifts, and anybody who gives gifts, thank you very much. And if your gift is on this list, it's not you, it's me.
Right. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, all of my friends.
Well, I remember in our chat when we were kind of going back and forth about this show topic, one of us was very concerned about what if we mention a worst gift and then our wives accidentally have already bought that for us. That could be awkward.
It certainly could be, but they still have time to return it. So
they have time to return it. I think with this disclaimer of like, it might not be us. It might be other people who have shared ideas with us. So
right,
I think we're in a good
spot.
spot.
And my wife doesn't listen anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference.
My wife doesn't make it all the way through. She listens, but usually I'll say, "Hey, what did you think of the ending?" And she'll be like, "Oh, I didn't get that far." So.
If you listen in double speed, it takes 20 minutes.
Yes, note to our listeners: if you really don't want to listen fully, you should listen on double speed. But
I listen to us on double speed. That's the way I like it.
Can I tell you, I actually had to go this week. I had to go in for an MRI because I'm kind of a slut. And I don't know if you guys have ever done like the body MRIs where they put the headphones on you and they tell you like you can listen to music even though the thing is like the loudest sound you've ever heard in your entire life. And I said, "Do you have Spotify?" And she said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Hey, great. Could you play the School of Mock podcast for me? Like whatever episode, it's fine." And she's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And then I go into the tube, and I'm laying there, and I'm like ready to hear us. I'm like, this is gonna be fun. I'm just gonna listen to the three of us bantering for a while. And she's like, oh, like for some reason there's a block. It won't let me play your podcast. Is there anything else you'd like to hear? And I was like, wow, I don't know if I should be like offended that the hospital's system flagged our show, or really honored that, hey, somebody flagged our show. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
I think
don't think it was
Sruli.
either of those.
Well, there's technical difficulties.
Right. I was like, I'm losing the poll. I don't want anybody to hear this anymore.
All right, should we get started?
Yes.
I still don't really know how this is going to go, but I get to go third. So by the time it gets to me, I'll be an expert.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Dave, lead us off, man.
So, I know we said we weren't necessarily going to get personal, but I'm going to have to bring you back to around 16 years ago. It was our first Hanukkah as a married couple. And my wife bought me a very special gift. And the problem is, I mean, the issue was, well, she bought me a beautiful, absolutely, really the most beautiful sweater I've ever seen. Cashmere sweater.
Wait, it's beautiful. You know, this is the worst gifts podcast, right?
Yes. It was put back on the Macy's shelf pretty soon after. But here's the problem. The intent was there. I had a cashmere sweater that I would never stop talking about. And I wore it till it had holes in it. And I used to, I guess, on dates, tell my wife about this cashmere sweater that I loved so much. So she thought for our first Hanukkah that she'll buy me a new cashmere sweater. Only problem is she never met that cashmere sweater, and it was very different than the one I had. So I kind of told her to return it. I didn't want her to waste the money on it, and it was a mistake. I've learned from that mistake. We do not return gifts from our spouses. But that said, I will say, in general, I think when you're buying sweaters for people, the success rate is very low. And therefore, for my number one pick overall, I would say do not buy sweaters as gifts.
Okay.
I'm with you on that. I think it's good life advice because sweaters can fit weird. They can feel weird. There's something about sweaters that just like you need to get your own sweater. Buying a sweater for somebody else rarely works out like as well as you think it's going to.
A sweater needs to talk to you.
Do your sweaters talk to you, Dave?
All the time. This sweater said, put me on, and I did. I listened.
And that sweater said, take me back to Macy's. I don't want to be here.
I used to fit better. Stop eating.
What was your wife's reaction to all this? Like she's totally cool with it?
Well, it was our first Hanukkah, so she's like, I got you this beautiful cashmere sweater, and I open it up, I'm like, and she saw it in my face, she's like, you don't like it? I'm like, I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, we could keep it. We could keep it, you know? And it's like,
great.
I put so much thought into it. I knew you missed your cashmere sweater that you used to love. I'm like, yeah, I did love that one. It's not the same.
How much?
And then for the record, I bought a sweater. I returned that one. I bought my own cashmere sweater, and my wife hated it forever just because.
No.
Yeah, she refused to like it.
How much like effort do you need to put in to faking enjoying a gift? Like
I've gotten
there's
good.
an emotional component, right? Like when you get a gift and you immediately you see it, and it's not something you're interested in or you want, and like you have to like decide at that moment. You're gonna go all in on the acting. Like it's a lot of effort.
But you have to know in advance that like that should always be your reaction, no matter whether you like it or not.
You just gotta go in.
Yeah, like in what scenario are you gonna like leave your emotions on your sleeve there? Like, like, oh, like, yeah.
And the hardest part is keeping your tone. Like, don't go into that high-pitched
like,
voice.
Oh my god, it's so nice.
I always wanted this.
How did you know? Like, yeah, exactly. You got to always go in like just first of all, you go in with low expectations and you're not disappointed. But also, like, you just got to go in knowing, like, I gotta like this thing no matter what it is. So, yeah, that's that's about it. Yeah, I would say in general, my grandmother's the only person that's ever bought me sweaters as a gift.
I'm sure they were beautiful.
And it should stay that way. Like, like if I want a sweater, I'll buy myself. You know.
Right. Sweaters are not a good gift. It's just they're not. There's no way it doesn't work. It's unless you're telling somebody, you know, like my kids will tell my wife, I want this sweater in this size.
Right.
Okay, but otherwise, don't guess on sweaters. It's not going to work out well for anybody.
Totally agree.
Okay. Gotta get out my my draft chart here. All right, so this is a I've had this before. It's happened to me before. I've received this gift, and also as I was preparing for the show, somebody brought this up and kind of reminded me, like, this is in fact a terrible gift. And I'm going to put like a disclaimer, which I think is fair to go with a lot of our picks tonight, which is that with the proper context, a lot of these gifts could be fine. You know, if like the sweater, if you know the size and you've already picked it out, it's fine. But don't surprise somebody with a sweater. So if there's like a really good context for a gift, it could make it a good gift. But the gift that I'm going with, number one, is a donation has been made in your name, which I think is a terrible gift. It's
wow,
like,
you hate charity, huh?
It's
That's Seinfeld.
I feel, you know, I feel like unless there's a context, like someone knows, like let's say you have a charitable foundation or somebody sends you a card saying I donated to your favorite charity, or I work as Dave does for nonprofits, and if somebody says, like, you know, I made a donation to your organization, okay. But what I don't like is when you get something in the mail and you open up the card and it says, you know, so and so has made a donation in your name to the, like, Save the Rocks Foundation. And you're like, what am I supposed to do with this exactly? Like, this is a terrible gift. Like, I get nothing and no satisfaction that it's something I care about. So
right. That's a gift for them, from them to them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they want to feel good about themselves, so they're like, I'm going to make a donation, and I'm going to say it was for you.
Yeah.
So in Seinfeld, George opened up made up a foundation, and people were giving him gifts to that. He kept on giving, not people were giving him. He kept on giving giving people cards that I donated to this foundation, and then finally his boss tried to give him a massive check to that donation, but there was no such thing.
Yeah. So
it's so much better than the way I just told that. It's actually funny.
Yeah, you're saying Seinfeld, the show that you chose as the greatest sitcom of all time, told it better than you.
I won that week, by the way, for the record.
Yeah.
Did you though?
I think
I did. Did I?
I think you did. I you know what? Right, but you say that, and obviously it's nice to know that you hate all charities and raising money for people who need it. But, like, you're right. I guess it's a context thing that matters. Like, that's happened, like, on Purim before, where like instead of giving out like candy and whatever, you know, they say like, oh, we made a donation in your, you know, instead of Mishloach Manot or whatever, and it's like, right, but like also I'm like, oh, okay, like. I could have gone with some candy though, you know, like
right. Well, like
you know, Twix would have been nice.
Right, Twix, yeah, oh yeah, as we spoke about on the I Want Candy show. But you're right. But like the expectations on somebody giving you like a Twix bar, and instead of getting Twix, they made a donation. It's like, okay, all right, you probably also have Twix in your pantry or whatever. But I feel like if it's a gift for like a holiday or your birthday, like, happy birthday, here's what I got you. I got you nothing. And instead, I gave the money that was going to give you or buy something for you, and I gave it to somebody else. And, like, that's a terrible gift. So that's number one
like
for me.
Like a poor family or a child in the hospital. How
Like, it's really, I agree with you. It's really not right that poor kid gets a toy. It's really terrible, and you should have you should have your 30th toy to sit in your closet, because that poor kid who gets one toy a whole season does not deserve it. because John
poor
Ackerman
John.
does not like
Right.
gifts the gift certificate.
Slumped over on the couch, sad as sad as can be.
Yeah.
Poor John.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, they give that kid, and Sruli, instead they give that kid a note that says, unfortunately, the donation was rejected, and we are not giving you a toy this.
It's like, right? It's like, we know you wanted to go to Disney. Like, yeah. And it's like, instead, John, and we did it in your honor.
John wanted a lousy sweater instead. Poor kid in Somalia,
Oh my God.
you did not get any gift.
Oh yeah.
I can't stop laughing.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. Yeah. Good pick, John. Good pick.
Good pick, John. Good pick, John. No kids need gifts.
Yeah, I still I still don't quite know how we're doing this, because like these two are like specific things, but like how many specific bad gifts have you gotten? Like I've got concepts, I've got stories, but I don't know as far as like specific things. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna try to stay on plan here, and I'm gonna just say this. Shame on anybody who thinks that I can keep a plant alive. Okay? Shame on them. Shame on them, right? If you bring like a flowers or what, even like anything, any sort of living being, right? Shame on you for thinking that I want to take on the responsibility of keeping this thing alive. Shame on you. This is a terrible gift. It's going to be dead and in my garbage in less than a week, and it's all your fault, gift giver. So I'm gonna.
And why are you giving me that responsibility?
Right, like,
why do you need any responsibility?
Where do you come? Where do you get off? Like adding work to my life every day. That's not a gift.
So I once called in a staff to discipline them, and they come in with this plant with like legs, and they're like, "This is a plant that you can't kill." It was like all these like things coming up, and he goes, "You can't kill this plant even if you tried." Well, it's dead. You know what I learned? If you don't water something, it doesn't grow.
It dies.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good, Dave.
I remember the thing I kept alive the longest in my entire life. I had this one single strand of bamboo that I bought for $5 when I was in college, and it sat in like a dark room for years and stayed alive. And then I got married. We moved into my apartment. It finally started getting some sunlight and started growing. And then I'm not going to say who, but somebody, she's laughing in the other room because she can hear me tell this story, knocked it over, broke it in half, and it became garbage. I said, never again. Never again.
Oh, now you have two. Now you have two plants.
No, it's garbage. Yeah, plants are a terrible gift. Nobody buy anybody plants. Even flowers. Like, do your wife, like, my wife, every time I buy her flowers, tells me that she doesn't want me to buy her flowers. But then every once in a while, she goes, like, it would be nice to get flowers every once in a while. They die. They smell. The water is disgusting. You got to remember to change it out or what. Come on. Enough with the flowers.
So angry.
That's why I invested on my first year of marriage. I invested on expensive fake flowers, and they never go
Nice.
bad.
Yeah, those are cool.
They're awesome. They never go bad, and they're not.
I'm with you on like not knowing if I should ever buy flowers for my wife, because she also says sometimes, "Oh, flowers would be nice," except for that when we get the flowers, it's like, "Oh God, they're dying. We have to water them. It's so annoying. I'm allergic to them." It's like, there's no winning.
Yeah, just ridiculous.
But it's funny. Like, you're right. Like, somebody's giving you flowers expecting that you're going to keep them alive. And it's like those, giving the gift of life. They're giving you the gift of death. Like, they're like, here's this thing we're expecting you to prolong death for, not really keep it alive.
John,
with
you're getting a little morbid here. They're flowers. Okay, not gift of death. It might be a bad gift, but spare me with the morbid gift of death.
Morbid gift of death. All right, so that was my first one, and I gotta tell you, that was basically my only like straight up like thing, right? I thought it was a good one, at least.
It was.
I have a few others, but I think I can kind of save them a little bit. All right, so now I'm gonna go with like more of a conceptual thing, Okay, and I will say it's a big pet peeve of my wife. So if you ever come to my house for lunch and you ask us what to bring and we say nothing, don't show up with a dessert, because the odds are it's the same dessert that my wife made, or it's going to cause people not to eat my wife's dessert. So do not bring unsolicited dessert or negatively solicited dessert, right? You asked if you should bring dessert. I said no, don't bring it anyway. And that is my gift.
Come empty-handed.
Bring wine. Oh, wine is always welcome.
But don't bring dessert. So you're
Don't bring
wine
dessert.
is welcome. So even if you say don't bring anything, bringing alcohol is fine.
Alcohol is always welcome in my home.
Okay.
But if we say, like, if you go, hey, can I bring a dessert or something? And we say no, and then you bring dessert anyway, it's just going to ruin the offerings of the meal, you know? So don't do it. It's a bad
Does that
gift.
happen a lot? Do you find that when you say don't bring anything, people like I've said also don't bring anything, and then people say, well, what if I bring this? And it's like, okay, fine, all right, if you want to bring that, whatever, that's fine.
Sure, but you've told me before, right? If you're just going to show up right? If you said don't bring anything and you showed up with, I mean, okay, if you showed up with a steak, like, I'd be happy. But, like, you know, if you show up with a dessert, but I've already prepared 3 desserts, right? And I've spent time doing that, and now there's an extra dessert, and maybe it's better than my desserts, I don't know. But, like, now people are going to eat that dessert, and I'm going to have wasted my time on this dessert. You know, it's just not cool.
So you're saying that on the show that
Be
we
cool.
dedicated to the worst gifts, you're saying
Dessert. Yeah,
is
dessert.
the worst gift.
Sruli wants to win.
I mean?
Sruli wants to win. Dessert. And you know what? Sometimes we'll make a
I'm
pretty
aiming for
damn
the
good
win.
dessert.
Yeah, you know what? It's better than hating charity, okay? Okay? I think. I don't know. I don't know where my morals are these days, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, that's it. If I told you not to bring dessert, don't bring dessert. Anyway,
I hear it.
Because you
It's-
think
you
I
gotta-
want it. I don't want it. There's a
gotta
reason I
play
told
by-
you not to bring it.
Play by house rules. House
Yeah,
rules.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
I guess based on that pick, I think my list is going to just be fine.
I told you, man. I was very confused by this topic, and I still am. This is not something that I could just list off things that are bad gifts.
Well, this is so my next pick here is also brought to me by a good friend who wished to remain nameless.
Brother-in-law Ari.
Yeah.
It's not my brother.
And, who might rhyme with Shashevsky.
It was not my brother-in-law. He did not send me any ideas for this, nor did his kids who listen to the show. But I'm going
Hi,
to go
kids.
with hi, kids. My second round pick. It's sort of a rule. Promotional swag is not a gift. So my second round pick is promotional swag. So for example, if you work somewhere at a business or at a school or an organization, and they, for like a holiday gift, get you like a branded baseball cap of the organization's logo, that's not a gift. Like for your birthday, if they get like happy birthday and they give you like the organization, like a sweatshirt with the organization's logo, that's not a holiday gift or a birthday gift. Any like branded swag that's for a place like where you work is not a gift. That's something you can give employees in the beginning of the year. It's something you can give employees at like, you know, launches, product launches. But saying, we got you guys holiday gifts, and it's like T-shirts with our logo on them, that's no bueno, as they say.
So you're saying from the company to you.
Yeah. Not like if you get like a Mets cap, which has like the Mets logo on it, but like let's say you work for a company called like 123 Cola, right? And at their holiday party, like, guess what, everybody? We got you holiday like gifts or bonuses, and you're excited. You're like, oh, maybe I'm gonna get a cat. Maybe I'm gonna get I don't know, some sort of actual gift of value, and they give you like a flimsy, collapsible baseball cap with the company 123 logo on the front, like. That's no good. So
Can I say something funny, John?
Yeah.
I love when my company does that. I love promotional garbage. I love every ounce of swag I could get.
Promotional swag is fine, but not as a gift. Not as a like here's a holiday
but
party.
if it's Hanukkah and I get like a cool a pillow or a blanket or a hat, a good one, a cool one, like a name brand or comfortable. I love that stuff.
So let them give you a cool name brand thing, but not
Just
like.
call me Swag Master.
I'm saying swag is fine, but not
please
as
don't call him Swag Master.
No swag master.
Do not call him Swag Master.
Swag Master 2000.
I like when other people give me swag from their companies. Like I have some really nice like golf polo shirts that are like really nice ones that are like from somebody that I somebody that I know's company that he works for. Like he just like went into their swag supply closet and got them for me.
Yes, as like a random one-off, it's fine. But if you got that as like a birthday present, that's kind of lame.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought you were going at. I actually thought that was a great idea. Like, I'm not going to give you a random swag giveaway as a gift.
No, not as a gift.
Yeah,
I just think that branded like company gear as like I got you a gift, here it is
that's
lame.
That's wrong.
That's
I agree. I'm going to go with, again, if like the sweater we discussed, if somebody asks for something specific, this is not what we're referring to, right? If you ask for a specific item, then no gift is bad. If you want that item as a gift, then it's a perfectly fine gift. Yeah. But if you did not ask for a book is a lousy gift because I could either buy the book myself for a lot cheaper than the cover costs. I could take it out of the library, or you're deciding that I want to read your book. And trust me, as the library trustee of West Hempstead, I promote reading every single book that you can read, but take it out from the library, not as a gift. So don't give me, if there's a $30, gift, whatever those are, secret Maccabee, right? And you're doing a gift thing where everybody has to buy a gift. Don't spend your $30 on a book, which I could get for a lot less on Amazon or whatnot. Booyah.
I don't agree. I if it's a good book, I got a book as a gift from somebody recently, and I read it and I loved it. I'm not a library trustee, so maybe that's the
right. So I don't have strong feelings about this. I don't know that I've ever gotten. People know that I can't read, so I don't think I've ever gotten a book as a gift. I don't know. I feel like I would be okay with it. Like, hey, I thought you would like this. I mean, it depends. If it's like,
here's a novel. Here's an 800-page novel that you will never read. Enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a bad gift. I would definitely agree with you.
I'm out on this. I think books are great. I think if it's the right book, if it's a good book, I think it's a great gift. I've read books as gifts, and I've given books as like thank you gifts to people who've helped me out with different things. I mean, like we said, context matters. But I think that books can be awesome gifts. I definitely wouldn't make it a second round, similar to the Sruli saying dessert. I wouldn't make it a second round pick on the worst gifts ever episode of our show.
I'm actually now thinking about it, and there is somebody who every year around the holidays would send like some self-help book that they liked to like all of their like colleagues, and it was very like nice sentiment, but like I don't want to read Getting to Yes. Like I don't want to read it. I don't. And it's like, right, I guess it's like, it's odd for somebody to assume that like, I know what you want to read.
Yeah, I want to read your book, the book that you like the most. We have nothing else in common, but I want to read your book.
Okay.
I hear that.
Right. So Dave hates books. Dave, the library trustee, does not ever.
No.
Don't get him a book.
Don't buy me a book unless I ask for it.
Books, charity, and dessert so far.
we're
on this list. We are really we're good people, I think.
Okay, we're gonna throw a curveball, try something new on our show. We're gonna bring in our first ever guest caller. I don't know, what do we call it? Guest Potter? I guess guest podcaster.
Guest Potter.
Right. We'll bring her in here.
Are we allowed to mock them?
Yeah, we can mock them.
I think so.
Izzy, welcome, Izzy, to the show. Welcome to the School of Mock
Thank
podcast.
you for having me.
Welcome.
So, Izzy, welcome to the show. It's awesome to have you. And I am told that you have a horrible, horrible
Yes,
gift
so it's
story
pretty bad,
to share
but I'm
with
going to
us.
keep my voice down because my husband just walked in and he was the one who gave me the gift. So, yeah, it's really bad.
Wait, your
It's
husband gave you the gift?
Okay,
No,
yeah,
that's fine.
wait,
That's
here-
fine.
it's
We like that.
Non-dramatic. Wait, he's staring at me from the other room. So here's what happened. Basically, for like at least 3 years now, I've wanted a picture by this artist, like a painting. And I've been talking about it for years. And so my husband, like from May, my birthday's in August, was talking about like, wow, I have the best gift for you. It's gonna be sick. Like I'm so excited. And he brought it up like once a week, at least. Like literally every week from May to August, he was talking about this gift, how epic it's gonna be, and everybody's in on it, and everybody knows, and like whatever. Okay. So my birthday comes around. I was out of the house. It's like 9 p.m. I'm on the phone with my best friend, and we're talking, and I like start opening the door. My husband grabs me, covers my eyes, hangs up my phone, and like opens the door, and I see there's candles everywhere, and it's like super romantic. And somehow, like in the 30 minutes that I was gone, he had like hung up sconces on the wall and put this painting up. So this like painting was like in the middle of our living room with like light showing on it. And he's like, "Do you love it?" I'm like, "Wow." He's like, no, do you love it? Like, and he's so excited and like he's like glowing, and I'm like, wow, because like I didn't know what to say, and like I was so like this is what I'm going with for like my defense. Like I was so caught off guard. I did not see this coming, and he's like, "Do you love it?" He asked me again. I'm like, "I hate it." I literally said I hate it.
You did not.
And right then he turns, he walks away. He walks where like all the candles are lit up, turns off his phone because he was recording this whole thing, and like smokes off.
no.
We didn't speak for like 3 days. It was so bad. Oh no! So
What
I
was the
realized
problem
it
with
wasn't.
this-
No,
with
it
this
wasn't
art?
this girl's art.
Oh, it's the
No,
art.
wait, I missed that part. It wasn't from the person that I wanted like this artwork from. It was from like literally, we found it on somebody's WhatsApp story. Someone was posting about their little sister who's in high school.
So he
Yeah.
bought you you wanted a specific
He bought
art,
me a
and he bought you
random
this
piece of
random
art.
person's
And
art.
we didn't speak for days. Okay.
Oh,
Wait, it's so
that's horrible.
it was so ugly.
my
It's still hanging in my house. But anyways, everybody was in on it. So yeah, I could show you. Yeah, it is horrible. Wait, but you don't understand. Everybody was in on it. So like all of his friends were texting him like, "How did it go? Was it like amazing? Was it the best night ever?" And I'm like, and he was like, "No," like, and they're like, "You recorded it. Can you send it to us?" And like, it's like it didn't go well. And somehow like everybody approved it.
I feel bad for your husband. I don't want to say it's bad.
But wait,
Like,
it was
I
very
mean, I want to support him.
expensive. It was very expensive, also.
Oh my goodness. I think his biggest mistake was the
yeah.
hype.
Yeah,
Right?
fun.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't
For
hype it up
literally
like
3
that.
months.
Like-
It was very bad.
And he got it wrong, or like did you not like
No,
you
no, no,
told
you don't
him
understand.
like
I've been
this is the
saying
name of the
his
artist,
name,
and
like,
he
at least once a week in the house for at least 3 years. Yeah, it wasn't good.
oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, that's
And,
bad.
and
Josh.
Izzy, in that moment, that moment of crunch time, I
I
mean,
hate it. I
the best
hate
you
it.
could
Is
come
that
up with is I
verbal?
hate it.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my god.
Well, it's a major, and I'm going to
Yeah.
say that it's a major letdown. I mean, I know there's an artist I know, and they gave me a gift. I was telling this to you, John, earlier, and and this person, the artist themselves, gave
Oh,
me a
God.
gift, and I was all excited. I opened it up, and it wasn't art. Like what? I don't need something random from somebody who's an artist.
Wait, hold on. The best part of the whole story was basically he was so upset that he went and bought her domain after the fact. So that way, yeah, he bought her
He, like,
website.
bought her
I guess
website?
He doesn't have a website. He doesn't have a website.
What?
No, 'cause
That-
what
now
does that
if she
do
wants
for
a
anybody?
website,
What a
she's gonna
move.
have to reach out to him and be like, "Yo, hey, like I want my website name," and he's gonna be like, "Okay, give me a painting."
The
one we
original
the one
artist,
we
the
liked
artist
was
you
not
like.
in high school that ripped my husband up. I can't.
Well, it's not we because he liked the other
So
one. Clearly.
so he now
Yes.
So you know,
Yes.
screwed
So now
over the artist you like.
Yes.
In the hopes
He's gonna
that
blast
she's gonna
her.
give you.
She wants her website.
Hey, by
back.
the way, don't think of ever opening up a website because I bought it.
Yeah.
I bought the site.
Wow.
Oh my
And
goodness.
he sells this other person's art on
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, of course.
All right, Izzy, thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
so
on
much.
and sharing that.
Yes.
Appreciate
Kinda
the
traumatic,
story.
but
Very
yeah.
funny
All right.
story.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Izzy.
Thank you.
Bye. That's a great story.
Oh my God.
Well, I had that recently, and I'm gonna keep a lot of details out of this story because whatever. But I was getting a gift, and I knew I was getting a gift, and I was asked like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "Oh, like that's really nice." And I like, you know, and there were like multiple categories of things I could have chosen, and I said like, I'd really like either one of these or one of these, and like I get to the thing where I'm getting this gift, and I open it up, and it's not either of those things. like, like I don't need one of these. Otherwise, I would have told you that this is what I wanted. Like, I totally get that. It's like no, I told you what I wanted, and you're like, oh, okay, great, and then you got something else. So that was thank you, Izzy, for sharing that. And just a little tidbit: Joy calls me Izzy when she wants to bother me. So
Wow. So
Yeah.
her name is an insult to you.
yeah, a little bit.
And our pet lizard is Lizzie. No, it isn't. It's Sir Lix-a-Lot. No, I just made that up. That was the name I wanted. That was...
Sir Lix-a-Lot. That's a great lizard name. All right. I think we're still only in round 2.
No, now we're in round 3. We're starting
now
round
we're in
3.
round 3. All right. Go ahead,
We're
Dave.
in.
Okay,
we're
here
in
we
round
go.
3.
It might
Sir
sound
Lix-a-Lot. Sorry, go ahead.
it might sound similar to John's pick. However, it is not.
Okay.
So the whole concept of name a star or name
Oh,
a
I
tree
had that on my list.
Yeah.
or name a planet. Those are the worst gifts you could imagine. I could not care less if one of the trillion stars in the sky are named after me. That certificate does nothing. I could print it up at home. There's nothing about the name fill in the blank that makes a good gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would piggyback on that. Like I'm all for planting trees. I'm all for planting trees in Israel, but like that's also not a gift. Which tree? Which tree? Can I go see the tree?
You tell me
Does it have
which
a
tree so I
plaque
can
next to
visit
it?
it.
You tell me tree. Yeah, you tell me which tree. Right? Like exactly. Which star? Right? Oh, that little dot over there. Oh, great. Thank you. That's so wonderful.
They
I'll
like
get my
send you a
telescope out.
picture. They send you a picture and they circle it.
Right.
This star is named David.
Oh my god, yeah. Just you get the telescope out and you're like, see babe? No, not that one. No, not that one either. No,
That one was an extra 99 cents.
yeah. I had that on my list. That's a not a good gift. It's not a good gift.
It's funny. As we were starting, my daughter was trying to like wave me down to get my attention, and I was like, leave me alone. We're recording. And she texted me, so it came up on my screen, and she's like, the buy a star or give a star are the worst gifts ever. I'm like, oh,
There you go.
all right.
There
Was
you
she
go.
heard
All
me
right.
or was before that?
No, it was like at the beginning of the pod.
Oh, that's funny.
So you guys are thinking along the same lines.
Well, it's not you guys. It's David's pick. Okay, let's get that record straight. When you're
David
voting,
Tannenbaum.
Yes.
Oh yeah. All right.
Oh my god, there's actually a lot of really, really good stuff here. I feel like our honorable mention part is going to be really, really interesting.
he's gonna do gift of life now. You know, why would anybody give blood to people who need it?
Right. Why would anybody? Right. Bone marrow. Come on.
Jeez,
Hey.
Horrible.
don't put gift in something that I have to give you.
Okay, I'm going to go with anything that involves self-improvement. Could be dieting stuff. Could be like how to bathe yourself better. Here's a book on bathing, not wink, wink, or anything cooking for dummies, because you could really use it. Like I would buy a book called Cooking for Dummies for myself, to help me cook. But if somebody else is like, your cooking stinks, so I got you this book, I think that's insulting. Or anything that's like any sort of self-care instructions, anything like that is insulting and terrible, and people do it all the time. and I think it's a terrible gift.
I agree. I've gotten hair gifts and weight loss gifts.
What does that mean?
Is that like a wig?
Well, I don't want anybody to spin this the wrong way because we're talking about like the worst. My father-in-law, who should rest in peace, used to come home every Friday with another hair supplement
For you.
for me, and the truth is, I did appreciate them. These are supplements that oftentimes they were too expensive. I wasn't going to buy, and he would come home with this pill that might cause help my hair grow back, or some sort of Rogaine or something. And every week, finally, like, I mean, but in that case, I did appreciate it. But for like a Hanukkah gift or a birthday gift, to get like a bottle of Rogaine is a little excessive.
Has anybody ever bought you a bottle of Rogaine for Hanukkah?
No, that would be pretty bad.
Yeah. Here's a toupee.
Or growing your hair back in 30 days.
How to eliminate body odor for dummies.
Right.
Like any of these things, like, deodorant, soap, where it's like wink, wink, nod, nod. All this stuff is like, no, you can't get gifts like that for people. It's gross. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, get something else. Get literally anything else.
Membership to a gym, like.
Yeah, I mean, memberships I feel like in general are kind of strange, but like as gifts. But yeah, any sort of self-care item as a gift is like an insult. It's like, here's this thing that I think you are terrible at, and I can fix it for you by giving you the answer. Is
And Sruli, you mentioned it. Memberships are brutal because memberships are great that first year, but then you're stuck paying them if you like it.
Yeah.
So you have to like continue it on your own dime.
yeah,
Or you forget and then it renews on its own and you're like, God, sorry.
Then
Right,
it's
if
fine.
it's on their credit card, it's okay.
yeah. Yeah.
But I would say that those are sometimes the best gifts. Like my grandmother got for my kids like Highlights magazine, and like they love it.
My
And
mom
it's like a
does.
subscription they get every month. We bought for one of my friends for I think his 30th birthday. I don't know if you've heard of Flaviar, so it's like a alcohol subscription
Alcohol.
box. It comes every quarter. Yeah, so we like got him a 1 year subscription. Like a few of us split like a 1 year subscription, and like
That's cool.
Those are great because it's like something that keeps coming and it's like fresh and new and whatever. But yeah, when it's something you don't want, it's definitely different. All right. Okay, so I guess we're back to me, and I got back to backs. Okay. See, I feel like I'm just like grinding my gears of like things that I don't like when people do. But I guess that's what we're doing here. So this is one that is like my wife's one of her biggest pet peeves. Do not buy my children anything that has glitter in it. Nothing. I don't want glitter in my goodie bags. I don't want glitter on my birthday hats. I don't want glitter on anything. I don't want slime with glitter. Forget about slime. We could talk about slime all night, but I don't want glitter on anything because as soon as it enters my home, it enters every crevice of my home and my body and my clothes and everything, and you can never get rid of it. It's impossible. So stop buying things with glitter. In fact, glitter, big glitter, please shut your whole system down. Okay? I'm talking to you, big glitter. I don't know what name you are. It's probably owned by like Boeing, but big glitter, please stop producing because nobody needs glitter.
So if I come to you for Shabbos lunch, you want cookies with glitter on it? Is that what it
Glitter
is?
cookies, yeah.
glitter cookies.
Nice.
Glitter cookies.
An addendum to your glitter rant is the so I took my daughter to the doctor today. They have at the pediatrician's office those like buckets
Like
of
the
prizes.
toys, yeah.
Okay, the sticky hands. You know what those are? Like it's got.
I love those.
Yeah, of
But
course.
those are fun. That's the thing.
No, they're not.
No, he's
Because
about to
what
knock
happens-
them.
You get dirty. They get dirty, and then the kids throw them, and it sticks to the ceiling, and they pull it off, and the dirt stays.
Yeah,
on the ceiling.
I understand, but at least they have
Okay.
like a fun purpose.
No.
Yeah,
no.
sheesh. Don't be
Okay.
the Grinch. I mean, we all like that.
All
It's
right,
fun
yeah,
to throw it off
yeah.
the glass.
They're the worst. What you think? And glitter? No, it's the same as
glitter is way worse. Glitter is way worse. This is all right. Put it in the polls. Glitter versus sticky hands. I promise you, everybody's going to
If
want
you
sticky
throw
hands.
sticky
sticky
hands
hands are
against
fun.
the windows, it's fun. When it gets dirty, you toss it. But they're fun until they get dirty.
Right. If you throw glitter at the window, good luck. Good luck. Yeah,
I'm with you
glitter.
on glitter.
Anything with glitter. And then, all right. So now we're basically at the end of my like I said, list of things, even though I said that earlier. So I'm going to go conceptually, but I'll explain. Gifts that I'm not expecting and I don't need. You don't need to give it to me, and I'll explain. After I took the bar exam, my wife and I traveled. We went to, I'm not going to say where because it's going to give away some of the story. We went with another couple of ours, a couple friends of ours, very close friends, and our friend's grandparents live in the place that we went to visit. So we met up with them for dinner. They invited us over, so we're having dinner, and my friend's grandparents come out with gifts. She a nice bottle of cologne for my friend's husband, and then for my friend also like a beautiful scarf. And then I see them kind of start talking to each other, her grandparents, and like looking at us and talking to each other and looking at us, and then my friend's grandmother like disappears, and I'm like, they do not need to give us gifts right now. Like this does not need to happen. But I knew that that's what they were going to do, and so they show back up. You don't. You see, I wish you did, but you don't. Go ahead, please write it down.
A casserole.
I wish it was a casserole. That would have been better.
A frozen casserole that's been there for like 5 years.
So she comes out with this piece of what do they call it? Costume jewelry. A costume jewelry ring with the jewel missing for my wife. It was something that she like pulled out of her jewelry drawer, and for me, a T-shirt from her husband, which it was a cool T-shirt, but it was 3 sizes too small on me. I was like, this is really kind, but like we didn't need, like you didn't have to feel bad for us that you didn't get us gifts. Like that's your granddaughter, that's your granddaughter's husband. I understood you got them gifts. Like we did not need anything, but like what do? You just have to kind of take it.
Did they have right guard stains in the armpits?
No, it was a never worn shirt. It happened to be a cool shirt. The guy had a cool career, and it was a shirt like from his career, whatever. It was a swag shirt, but it was a cool one. But it was bright red, and I think it was a size medium, and I'm an extra large. And I'm like, this is. But going back to what you said before, it's like I had to kind of just like we had to. Oh, thank you.
It's so generous.
This is so nice. What size is this? Is so nice. Yeah, it was. It was pretty awkward, but like, yeah. So like, don't a gift that does not need to be given is a bad gift because it's never a good one. It's never a good one. You're never gonna say, "Oh, I think I might need to give that person a gift," and then give them something amazing. Like you don't need to. I don't need a gift. You know, and that's so again, it's more conceptual. But that's my bad gift, the unnecessary one.
Wow. So no unnecessary gifts.
No, it's not really unnecessary. It's the random unnecessary. It's the random garbage unnecessary. Yeah. I mean, unnecessary like thing that like, oh wow, awesome. I that's cool. That's like, appreciated.
You don't have to give me a gift just to give me a gift, just to feel like you gave me a gift. Like I don't need that because it's probably not going to be good.
Not a lot of faith.
No. I'm 0 for 1 so far. So anyway, okay. That's what I got.
I hear that. I think a very. Let's see here. I think it's going to be an unpopular pick, but like the context does really matter. But I'm going to say for my pick that I'm going to go with cash as a bad gift. Now,
give me all the cash. That's
so I'm fine with giving me cash.
No, I actually don't disagree.
That's fine, right? So there's I think a thought behind this that it's literally saying, yeah, I don't know, I couldn't think of anything for you. It's not I'm giving you cash because I want you to go buy the thing that you wanted. It's not like, hey, you know, my mom will give us sometimes money and say, hey, oh, this is to buy clothes for the kids or buy something special for, you know, take your wife out for dinner on us. Like, that's fine. But here's a gift, it's cash because, hey, didn't know what else to give you, so I basically gave you whatever. You know, I couldn't put
the ability to buy myself whatever I wanted.
Yes, but it's not. That's not what a gift is. Meaning, like a gift is, I thought about what to get you, and I got you something that I thought you would like. And cash, you know, that will eventually become the thing that you like, is like I don't know what
Some
you
would
want.
say that's the best gift of all. Freedom is the
Yeah,
best
but
gift of all.
it doesn't. You don't go
Financial
home.
freedom. That's it.
You don't go home with anything exciting. Like you kind of like want to go home with a gift, something that you did that you wanted
Like,
new.
okay, I
that
gotta
you
go
wanted
pay
for
my
yourself.
babysitter now. Like, you know.
Yeah,
All right.
it's like thank you. Okay, good. Now that's already spent on my groceries. You know.
Well, one of our mutual friends posed like an interesting sort of dilemma in this case, which is like, what if your one of your parents or somebody, it's your birthday, and they're like, I know you wanted XYZ special thing that you were going to get, but I wasn't sure if I should get it for you, so here's cash instead. But we're married and we have kids and there's a lot of expenses, and it's like, okay, well that's your significant other may say, well, that money now is going to go paying for the electric bill or groceries or whatever, and you don't get to buy the thing that you wanted. Versus if somebody bought you the thing that you wanted, you're not probably going to get forced to like return it to pay for
I
groceries.
think you need to stand up to your wife more, John.
I don't know. I go both ways. I just said I hear you, and I don't hear you. Sometimes you like a good cash gift. You can buy whatever you want. But sometimes, if it's everybody's getting real gifts, and then you come home with a cash, then you feel like I wanted to go with something concrete.
Yeah, you don't have
Right.
something.
If you're the only one getting cash. But I don't know. I mean, didn't you guys get like cash for your bar mitzvah? Like that was great.
No, that's
Opening up
fine.
those envelopes and being like, like.
Yes. I'm saying cash
that's
for
fine.
I guess for weddings, bar mitzvahs, it's fine. But I'm saying if it's like if you're getting something's like, hey, I got you present.
You've chosen charity and money, okay, as the worst. When you were saying these are the worst gifts, these are the worst things you could get. You're saying money is the worst thing you could get. The first worst thing you could get.
Yeah, cash is the worst thing.
Right? Like money? Are you sure? You sure about that?
You know what, you piece of garbage? What are you giving me this cash for?
Right. Right.
Money sucks.
Right. It's really hard to fake liking cash, right?
I'm not anti-cash, and by the way, context matters. If somebody gave me
You know,
$1 million,
you
I'd be
really
like,
stick. I really
yes.
wanted a sweater.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like cash is good. I had the opposite. That's the worst gift of all. When I used to be a counselor, and I got like the oldest boys bunk 2 years in a row. Like these kids and I did not get along, so I wasn't particularly nice to them. But they also were not particularly nice to me. And and in particular, there were a couple of kids who, like when we were playing sports, they would be like running off on the side, and I have to go chase them down. And this went on all summer. And tip day comes. So I had one kid who opened up the envelope and took the money out of it before they gave it to me. So there's a great gift. But the best one was one of these kids who ran away. And again, I probably deserve this. But one of these kids who ran away all the time. He waited until like the very last moment to give me my tip envelope, literally leaving the room to get on the bus. And I open it up, and it's a card, and it says, "Here's a tip. If you want money, be nicer to your campers."
That is outstanding.
That's
Very
definitely
nice.
not a worst gift.
That was unbelievable. I mean, the nerve of the parent was like, oh my god! But like the kid clearly knew. Like his mom was definitely like, don't give this to him until you are ready to leave the building. I never hurt the kid. I never hit the kid. I was whatever. I was. You try dealing with a bunch of 12-year-olds the whole summer and tell me you're not angry at them all the time.
Wow.
But yeah, it was he's like, here's the tip. It's just like, oh boy. But it made for a great story.
Brutal.
Yeah,
Great story.
That's a bad gift. If that card would have also had a 20 in there, I wouldn't have cared so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kids ever have a bad counselor, do that. It's a good move.
I don't think I have the guts to do that.
It definitely doesn't stick with them for 15 plus years. That's for sure. they definitely don't remember it and then talk about it on a podcast 15 years later. I promise.
Somebody's going to have to give Sruli the gift of therapy for this one, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, Dave. I think you're up.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I got 2 more picks, but I really have 3 more things I wanted to do. So the first, okay, so the next one is as a primary gift, because I will say, I'm not ashamed to say it. Whenever my mom goes to AC, she still comes back with some underwear from me from the Gap outlet. So that's not bad. But essential clothing. If I needed some sort of essential clothing, I would buy it myself. You know, if I need a new pair of pants or a shirt or undershirts or a button-down shirt, I'm buying it myself.
Socks.
Or socks. I don't need it. I don't need it as a gift.
Yeah.
As a
I'm with
primary,
you.
I'm going to use the word primary gift because, you know, as an accessory, like, oh, here, I got you this gift, but I also got you X. That's okay.
Right.
But as the main gift to give somebody something that's an essential clothing, I think is a terrible gift.
Can we go back to your mom buying you underwear from Atlantic
Yeah,
City?
please. Let's unpack that for a second.
I think most people's moms buy them underwear, no? Because that Gap outlet happens to be.
When you're like 5.
What?
And why? Like, she has to go to AC in order to buy you underwear?
No, because that's where there's a Gap outlet. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't make it better.
It's like no. It's like $4 cheaper. It's
Listen, you don't question tradition, okay? Certain things you just accept. Just like you said, your grandma still makes you sweaters, right? So if that's the case, then accept
no.
it.
She stopped because of all the fake thank yous I had to give her. Oh my god! Your mom shows up and like drops off a package of underwear, and you're like, "Oh, went to AC, huh?"
Whenever my mom says me and Dad are going to AC, I'm like, yes.
Does she buy you nicer underwear if she wins at the casinos, and not as nice underwear if she loses at the casinos?
They're the best. I mean, the
Are there
Gap outlet is
slots
the
where
best.
you pull it, like just underwear
Right,
comes out?
right. Boxers, briefs.
No, nobody tell me I'm in AC. I'm like, yes, bank. You know.
Underwear, right?
Oh my god.
That's what people
that's
think
funny.
when they're going to AC. They're like, hey, we should go gambling. And also, you know what else there is to do at AC? Underwear shopping.
Buy David underwear. She hasn't
Some
brought
people
back
like
underwear.
saltwater taffy. Some people like.
Mommy, if you're
underwear.
listening to this episode, you haven't brought back underwear in a few years.
She doesn't know your size anymore, Dave. That's a good pick. I was going to talk about socks specifically, but yeah, like right. I just don't need them. Like if I need socks or underwear, like I'll get them myself. You know?
I'll buy it myself.
Or more specifically, Joy will buy them for me on Amazon.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. For my last pick, I'm gonna go. It's like a twofold thing. Anything that they're advertising on sports talk radio is not a good gift for your wife, right? So they might sound. So like pajamagrams sounds great on sports talk radio, but it's really not the best gift. And I
Can
once
you explain
bought-
what pajamagrams are?
Oh, you never heard that
I've heard these
commercial?
commercials.
Yeah, on Sports Talk Radio. They basically sell, your wife will love the pajamagram pajamas, you know. And they come in a gift box, so you don't even have to wrap it. And they're usually not the best quality. They're not soft. They're like, yeah, we got stupid men who need to get a gift, and if you order it now, you get it by by the holidays. And so I would say don't listen to Sports Talk Radio when you buy your gifts. And I'm going to throw pajamagram or pajamas as my number 5.
Okay.
So you're saying specifically pajamagrams, but is it more of like...
No, I'm saying pajamas,
anything on a
like
men's
jammies.
show?
So I shouldn't buy ExpressVPN for my wife.
and I will say that do not be listening. You should not be listening to Sports Talk Radio for gifts. And I know the latest gift, which I'm going to mention now, I don't think anybody's picking, is lotto tickets. You know, buying your wife a $2 lotto ticket is not the best gift that a man could think of.
That's worse than cash, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, the lotto.
Here's a
tickets are not-
scratch off.
Here's this thing
Hey.
that I just wasted money on for you, and instead of giving you a gift, you get that like quasi thrill for 20 seconds. No,
Yeah.
not a good gift.
Yeah. No.
That's very creative, though. Sports radio ads. That's good. I like that.
It's very brilliant, but
Brilliant.
Okay. There's still so many things on my list, so we're gonna have to have some I think conversations afterwards. But okay, my last pick. I'm gonna go with self art that is bad. I should say self-made art that is bad, not self art where you draw pictures of yourself. But in specific, I'm talking ceramics. Like if you go into like one of these ceramics places, you know, they have like all these kids' birthday parties at them. Making somebody like a watermelon colored bowl and like, here, I made this for you. It matches, you know, nothing ever, and there's no practical use for it. Enjoy. I think those are terrible. By the way, as a side note, something that I've discovered along with our mutual friend Dave Gottlieb, as we've carpooled to many, many kids' birthday parties, including many ceramics birthday parties. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but all of the kids' birthday parties are in malls, like little strip malls that always have a sketchy, like a smoke shop or some like a tattoo parlor, like right next to the kids' birthday party place.
did you just describe Hempstead Avenue?
Yeah,
Wait,
basically.
John, does this include like your children making you ceramic stuff? Like,
No. You
Yeah,
can't-
it's
I don't
here.
think anything
So
that
wait,
our
we've
kids
just
make for us-
John has essentially ripped cash, the gift of life, donating gifts to kids who can't afford them.
right.
Your company
And
who
gifts
thinks
from
they're
his
being nice.
children.
No,
Right, NCSY.
I
God.
think anything that our kids make for us is in of itself a gift. It's fine. It's great. They're kid like you're not going to be sitting there taking their like their scribbly pictures and like this is not the art that I wanted, you know, and throw it
Right.
on the ground.
do you mean, like, this is my
But
new
if
hat?
somebody like an adult gives you like a ceramic, you know, thing they made at the store, you know, that they went for their friend's birthday party or whatever, and it's like. For those
That's nice.
listening,
If
Dave
my
put on a
kid
hat.
makes it, I love it. Okay, no matter what my
Yes.
kids make. I don't know about you knocking ceramics, but my daughter made this, and I am so proud of her.
If your daughter made you a ceramic dish, that's fine. But if like Sruli made you a ceramic dish, I think that would be weird.
Hey, you never know, man. No, Olivia made what was supposed to be a bowl, and it's clearly not like a functional bowl. But I looked at it and I went, "This kind of works as an ashtray." You know, so that was great. But yeah, I love that hat on you, Dave. It's a little distracting.
Nice Thanksgiving
Yeah.
hat. I love it also.
Thank you.
Unless
great.
that was one
Yeah.
of the things that your father-in-law bought you as like a hair supplement.
Right. What, your mom couldn't afford AC this year? She went to Jake's 58 and made him a hat.
I don't know if there are any outlets.
John, have people ever brought you like ceramics that they made as a
never
gift?
gotten ceramics.
We got,
You
when we
mentioned
first
this.
got
I
married,
know you mentioned this to me before, but I have never gotten ceramics from somebody else.
Literally never.
I think when we got
I mean,
married,
my
we got, like,
grandma
a
in
weird
Deerfield
ceramic
Beach
thing.
used to make us ceramics, and those were cool.
Oh, my grandfather made me a very cool thing. Like when I
Yeah, the ceramics. Those
whatever,
are
It
awesome.
wasn't ceramic, but it was like a piece of art. They're basically like in summer camp. All those people down in Florida.
Right. But I'm not saying like just ceramics, something that's an example, but something like, here, I made this thing, and it's like, here you go. It's like, no, that's not a new gift.
Okay, so John hates thoughtful gifts from his friends, money, charity. It's a
Gift
beautiful
of
thing.
life.
The gift of life. Right? We keep throwing that one in. Kidney donations. Love. He hates love.
Love,
Right?
yeah.
It's like the gift of a hug. No. All right, so I'm up to round this out. I got some.
Wait, Sruli, you say the gift
Yeah.
of love just really quickly. So, I do some of the cooking at home, and many times, because of my wife's crazy schedule, so I'll cook and I'll supplement the cooking. And sometimes when I make whatever we're trying to make, it comes out a little bit better. And she'll be like, "What did you put in this?" I'm like, "Oh, love." And then I pile on. So like when she makes something, if it comes out like not as good as it usually does, and she'll be like, "Something's missing." And I'll be like, "Oh, right. Love."
Love. Yeah.
She does not like that very much, but I
No,
like it very much. So
Probably not. No, probably not. All right, let me look here on my list. I don't have too much left. All right, I'm gonna go with this one. And this one is it's not a bad gift, but it's bad to receive the gift. Like as the receiver, it's bad. And I'm talking about something that most Jewish people who had a bar or bat mitzvah know, and that is Israeli bonds. Okay, I don't know if did either of you ever get Israeli bonds?
I did.
So conceptually, you're giving a child a piece of paper that says, in 18 years from now, this will be worth slightly more than I paid for it now.
And it's something you would
can
never
hold on to it.
cash out on.
I mean, you have to remember where it is. You have to send it into the Israeli consulate. It's it's a whole work. It's work. I gotta wait. I have to let it mature, and then I have to wait 13 years, 18 years, let it mature, and then I can take this piece of paper and call the consulate, and they send me a check, and it's like, oh, great, Grandma got me $500 12 years ago. That's wonderful to get that money, but it's and I understand delayed satisfaction and all that stuff, but I'm a child, right? I am a child. I should not have to and again, I'm not saying I got all my bar mitzvah money and then used it right away, right? Of course it went into the bank, but at least I knew that it was there. This is Israeli bonds. I know it supports the state of Israel. That's great. And I know it's a good learning thing for a child to understand how money works and how you save it and how it invests and it appreciates over time. But so it's not a bad gift, but it's bad to receive it. As the receiver of that gift, you're just unhappy with that gift. So that's what I'm going to go.
It's an unsatisfying gift.
Very unsatisfying gift.
yeah, I
Because
hear that.
you're like, what is this? I don't understand. It's here's this toy, right? Here's this ball, right? It's a tennis ball now, but in 13 years it's going to be a baseball. What am I doing?
Yeah, I'm with you. I got one of those for my bar mitzvah, but it was for a very small amount. It was
Yeah, it was $180. What am I
No,
doing?
trust me, it was Minnesota. It wasn't $180. It was probably $1.80.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a
180
Minnesota
bucks.
12, okay?
There is no chance
Minnesota
that was more than
12.
$18.
Yeah. And then 13 years later, it's worth $19.36. It's I waited all this time for that extra $1.30.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Israeli bonds, then it's a tough one, but I think that's where I'm going
We
with
get it. You hate Israel.
Hate
John
Israel
hates charity.
and hates charity.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. All right.
All right.
That was
Should we
fun.
do a quick recap of our picks before we get to the
Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck with
There's
Sruli's pick.
esoteric concepts here that
Sruli thinks plants are terrible, desserts are terrible, glitter is the devil,
Right. My friend's grandmother giving me things is terrible.
unnecessary things from people's top
Yeah.
drawers.
Closets.
oh my
That's a
God,
bad gift.
it's a bad gift. Okay. here's what we got.
Mothballs are not a good gift.
Okay. But
I
they're
hope
not.
your friend's
apparently in
grandma's
the top-
listening to this.
Yeah.
I don't know if she would understand the English.
Okay, let's recap. So, Dave, you took sweaters, books, stars or planets, essential clothing, and anything that you would buy from a sports radio ad. I took donations in your name, branded swag, self-care products, cash, which I'm starting to regret that one, and self-made art. And Sruli, you took plants, unsolicited.
What John is
dessert.
basically saying is that I would rather anything on this list than money.
Oh God! Sruli
thought
took
plants was a good
plants,
one.
unsolicited dessert, anything with glitter. Um,
Unnecessary,
Gifts that are
necessary,
given when it's not
unnecessary.
necessary to give a gift.
yeah,
Tchotchkes.
unnecessary gifts and Israeli bombs.
Straight response, man. To a child. Oh my goodness. Whew.
It's a,
This is a ridiculous topic, guys. This makes no sense. I have not received 15 bad gifts, like 15 different categories of bad gifts.
I've received
Oh my
50
God.
bad gifts for sure.
Oh my goodness. All right, I'm afraid to ask. What else was on your list, guys?
So one thing that we didn't mention that I always think it's a gift. I've gotten it as a gift, but I think also I've seen it at Chinese auctions where people give there's like gift cards that don't even remotely cover the expense of what the gift is for. So like, wow, you got $25 to a jewelry store, but the cheapest thing is $500. That's not a gift.
Yeah.
You completely did not. You're making me pay a lot more than I ever intended from that gift card. So gift cards that do not cover the cost of the minimal items, I think is one.
Agreed.
Spa kits. Spa kits.
Why
are
spa kits a bad idea?
Spa kits are not a good idea, and I bought some spa kits, and I still see them in the cabinet, unused.
Oh, like at the house. I thought you meant like spa gift cards. Like
No, not
get
spa
those
gift cards.
massage.
Like the robe with the glasses with the different lotions.
Right.
And what else? Do I have anything else? I mean, I also have. This is not really a gift, but if you're going to give alcohol to somebody, know what they like, and ask somebody first. So, like, my wife got me an excellent bottle of bourbon, and I loved it. But I had like somebody once gave me this. I even took it out, and I know this. I know whiskey, but like, what the heck is this? The Irishman? I mean, we know Irish whiskey, but like random bottles of scotch are not very good.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, and especially if you know that somebody's picky about what they drink, right? Like, don't assume that like, oh, like he likes scotch, so I'll just get him a scotch. Right? It's like that. It's like, oh, he knew you liked,
and especially if
Irish
they're going
whiskey,
to
and
spend
he's
a
the
lot
guy
on
like,
it.
Yeah, it's like just don't worry about it. Like, I'll do it myself. Like, I'm good. Man. But the best gift I've gotten in years actually was similar to that, in that it's something that I would have thought I would have told Joy, like, don't buy this for me because I'll get a good one, and she bought me like a golf push cart that, like, total surprise, that was like killer. Like, I would have normally
awesome.
if she would have been like, hey, I'm gonna buy you a golf something for her birthday, I would have been like, don't do that. Like, you don't know anything about it, but she like consulted with my friend, got me like a sick push cart. I was like, wow, that was great.
I think that's an important message. If you're going to buy something that you don't have knowledge about, ask somebody what is good in that category. So if you're going to buy a push cart, then you ask somebody what's a good push cart to buy for him, or a bottle of whiskey. What's a good bottle of whiskey if I want to buy a bottle of whiskey for him? Ask somebody else so that you make the right decision rather than just going into the store and saying what's a good this, and that's it.
Agreed. I didn't have much on my list. We once got one of these like really creepy old school dolls from my grandma. She gave it to my daughter, and I think we hid it somewhere because it was super creepy and it was creeping out everybody. That's a bad gift, but like that's not like a thing. So how about noisy toys for kids? Like a drum set, or like one of those, like something that plays music when you like first have a little kid. Oh my god, my brother and sister-in-law got Olivia something when we were a baby, and we're like, we can't wait till you have kids. We're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
We're gonna buy the kid a drum set.
It's like a grandparent's tradition.
Yeah, I don't. That's a bad gift. And here's more of a intellectual one. Casinos should stop giving free rooms to young gamblers. That is a bad gift. I went the first time I ever went to Atlantic City. First of all, obviously, I stopped at the Underwear Depot, but on my way down to pick up
Why would you do that?
a whole bunch of underwear.
Your mother could
But
just buy
I
it.
went with a few friends. It was like the youngest person in our friends group's 21st birthday. So we all went down, and we went for his mom. Like somebody bought us a suite for like 2 nights, and from that one trip, and we didn't spend that much money, but from that one trip, we had free rooms for like 2 years at the Trump Taj Mahal, and it was like, well, now you're asking for it. So that's a bad gift. Bad on you, casinos. But also, I would love a room at Caesars, please. Yeah, that was it. You see, this is what I was talking about. I didn't really have a big list here.
Right.
I guess I just get better gifts than you guys. I don't know.
I think one thing
I
that,
get pretty awesome
that came up
gifts.
when I was doing some research, people talked about like, regifting gifts. I think is acceptable and pretty common, but don't leave the card from the original gift.
Yeah,
I've heard from so many people that happens. It's like, oh,
yeah.
come on.
We have that problem, like, especially when the kids are younger. Like, there's so many birthday parties, and there's only so many things you can get a 6-year-old girl. So, like, what happens is, like, you collect all these gifts that your kid gets at their birthday party, and then you end up, like, some of them just never get opened, and so you re-gift them, and you have to remember, like, who gave it to you so that you don't accidentally give it back to their kid. But then there's, like, that one game of Candyland that just travels around the neighborhood because
Right.
everybody's already got Candyland, but, like, somebody gave it, and it just ends up at, like, 6 people's houses. Yeah.
And I once had a friend that got a gift that they gave to that person. So it was re-gifted back
No.
to them. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so hard to avoid that. Like,
You don't
when
know 'cause you don't know what they
Your
gave you.
kid could have, yeah, and your kid could have 20 birthday parties, or like there was one weekend a month ago where Olivia had 3 birthday parties on a Sunday. It's like,
Right.
it's crazy. And like, how do you remember who gave you what and when, whatever? And yeah, so those are bad. Those regifts. It's like, just you got to make sure that you're not regifting something back to the same person. That's a good one. Yeah. Did we get any more? I know you reached out to our listeners. Do we have any
Yeah.
honorable listener mentions?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you some of the comments that we got. Somebody told me they got a gift from like their in-laws' friends or parents' friends, and it was a painting. It was supposed to be of them, like of the couple, and let's just say it did not go well. And so that was, I guess, the thought that counts. That's kind of fun. Somebody told me that when their oldest son was born, somebody bought him a shirt that said "Little Brother."
Yeah.
It's like, do you not
Time out.
even
It's
know?
just- you got to rephrase that one. Not they bought. They re-gifted a Little Brother T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, probably. That's so that wasn't good.
Maybe it was a message.
I've heard from a lot of people that they've gotten gift cards that were empty, like it was a card with no money on it. I've heard that from.
Well, you
multiple
hate
people.
money, so that's probably
Why?
better for you, right?
But can you imagine getting like a Nike gift card and you're excited? You go to the Nike store, and then you get to the cash
wasn't
register.
loaded. That would
no
have-
money on it.
That's funny. Yeah, that's even worse. Oh, when you were saying a gift card, you meant like a gift card to a store, not like a card. And then
Yeah, no,
I
it's
got
like
it. Okay.
or any.
I thought you meant like
any-
a physical card, like.
It's funny. I mean, look, it's obviously we have a lot of fun with it, but people, be thoughtful with your gifts. Be like a little thoughtful, just a little bit.
But I want to say be appreciative of what you get, no matter what it is, even if it's on this list.
Yes, definitely don't lead with "I hate it," as we learned from Izzy today. That's not
God.
recommended.
Big mistake. This is fun, guys.
This is a lot of fun. I'm just going to do a reminder to everybody to please make sure to rate and review our show. Please vote for the show tell us which one of us had the best draft tonight. If you have any suggestions for show topics, you can email us at schoolofmockpod@gmail.com, and please follow us on Instagram at schoolofmockpod, and you'll see some clips and some other goodies from the show. We got to get around to that merch store. I'm going to try to look into that for the next show. Maybe we can unveil something. So,
Have we ever gotten an email?
we get lots of emails from Spotify, telling us.
Oh, cool. Oh my God, they listen? Oh my God.
We should do like a mean tweets update soon of just things that people send us, like, calling us
It's
idiots.
mostly Josh Silber telling us that we're terrible at everything.
It's Josh
so.
Silver and my family members.
Also telling us that we're bad?
Mostly directed at me.
I had somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody that, like, I was like, I thought they'd be supportive. Like, yeah, I didn't really get it. Like, what the hell? Like, just tell me you liked it. Like,
So
yeah.
I put a link to our show. What'd you say, Dave?
Rhymes with Boscal.
I put a link to our show in my WhatsApp status, and somebody from work called me about something completely unrelated. And he's like, "Hey there, Mr. Podcast Man."
Yeah, people like to do that.
And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he's like, "So what's your show about?" And I explained it, and he's like, "I don't get it. I thought it was a funny podcast." I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to look back. One of my friends, he was like, I just found out about this, and I don't think I'm gonna let you do it, or something. He's like, I don't support this at all.
Explaining the show to people who don't know what a mock draft is at all, or what a draft is at all, is
Oh, he goes, you got a podcast, LMAO. I will not support this.
out of principle, not even listening.
It's just, and this was after our last episode, which was like episode 7 or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I've been doing this for a couple months. He's like, I will not support this. I was like, okay, got it.
Well, you have until now, so what's the difference?
Right, exactly.
I'm gonna have to think of a good name for this episode. Something like
Bad
Drive-
good.
Thanks.
Gee, thank
Oh my
you.
God.
Right.
All right.
Okay, good night,
All right.
guys.
Thank you
Alrighty.
guys. It was great.